Hi, my name is Malak Usman. I am from Abuja, Nigeria. I came to PEI in 2015 to get a bachelor's degree in psychology. I graduated in 2022. My journey of finding employment in PEI is a rocky one, and that could be for many reasons. Maybe the job market is lacking jobs, or because my resume is lacking. But I think for the most part, I've had a challenging journey because I didn't have a lot of experiences coming from Nigeria, because most times younger kids didn't work. So most of our first experiences came from working in Canada after we moved. So I did get some experience in customer service, and then I tried applying for like corporate jobs. Because my resume was lacking, I didn't really have any luck doing that. So far I haven't found anything yet. So I'm still searching. I don't think it's because of my resume. I think maybe it's just because the job that's meant for me hasn't found me yet. I think most people have different personalities, and different personalities match different jobs. So I think even though I'm applying for like psych jobs, social work jobs, mental health like assistant jobs, I think the one that's meant for my personality per se has not found me. So even though I have been applying to these various jobs, the one that is best suited for me hasn't come yet. So maybe that's why I haven't found one yet. Yes, there are stereotypes. One being that we only want jobs so we can get our PR. And once we get those jobs, we don't want to stay at the job. So we just want the job, get the PR, and be gone. And I think sometimes that doesn't let the employers give people who actually want to grow in a career the opportunity to, because they feel like, well, they're going to put in resources into this person, and then once the person gets their PR, it's just going to leave. To an extent, I'm guessing the employers are going based off of their experiences with past employees, because most assumptions don't just come out of nowhere, right? So they've probably had experiences where people have applied, they've hired them, they got their PR, and then they left. So I think based off of that, they decided that, oh, maybe we should cut back on the immigrants and the international students just so we can retain the people we employ. So I think that's one of the assumptions most employers that I've come across make. If employers show the people they're hiring that there's room for growth, I think most people would be willing to stay with whoever they're employed to, because if you get a job and you can see that while you're at the job, you have the opportunity to flourish in your career, whatever that is, to grow from one stage to the next stage to the next stage, I think it will help keep the people you employed, rather than just have them stay at one position for like a year, 2 years, get their PR with no growth, and then they have to leave so that they can keep growing in their career. So I think that would be good for employers to do. I think if they give you room to to show your ideas, to come up with ideas, to be a part of like the what word am I looking for now? Like, let's say there's something happening. They're trying to make an advert. Let's say it's a marketing company, and you're an entry-level associate, and they're looking for ideas. So they should be willing to listen to you and allow you, give you room to come up with your ideas, to show them your ideas, so that you can show them that you can do more than just like entry-level stuff. And that way you can show yourself and show what you're willing to do when given the opportunity. So I think that's one way that employers can help show the employee that they're willing to like give room for them to go. Not exactly, although I have a name that is not common, so when people see my name, they can't quite place what the individual is, because I could be black, white. My name is ambiguous, so when people see my name, they're not sure what to expect. And I've had instances where I've walked into the room and they're like, "Are you this person?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And they're like, "Oh, but your name?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still my name, so this is me." So I think most of mine comes from my name, because nobody can really tell what I am from my name. Yeah. There's been incidents where someone or some people refused to interact with me, and it looked like it was based off of the color of my skin. So, to be honest, racism doesn't really affect me. So, even though they blatantly refused to interact with me, and I could tell that it was based off of the color of my skin, I'm so confident in the person that I am that doesn't reflect on me as, oh, I'm less than, or oh, these people don't like me because I'm black, or oh, this and that and that. I think it's more so reflective of the kind of person they are. So I just detach from the whole like the whole theme itself. I think detaching is really good because it allows you to move through things, even though you might be sad or like angry that someone is like treating you less than or not giving you the same treatment as other people, because you know that it's not something that should be in the first place. I feel like that should just allow you be confident in who you are, because it really has nothing to do with you. It's just a thing that has come about from only God knows where. I was speaking to the interviewer and they said, "Oh, you speak good English. Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Nigeria." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know people spoke English there." Well, we do. So yes, we speak English. And they're like, "Oh, that's nice." So then we go on with the interview, and then she's called to the side, and then they're like, "Oh, they're not sure about this candidate because of how she is presenting. So because of how she looks, it might be difficult to get people into the store," because at the time it was a cashier job. So yeah, that was the way I felt. Yeah. No, I didn't get the job. No, I didn't get the job. So yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't really affect me, because like I said, it's not a reflection of me. You guys are just racist because you have a problem. It has nothing to do with me. So. Oh, I think I was saved from being put into something like that, because imagine being hired only to be made to feel less than because of how I looked. So I think I dodged a bullet with that one. As of right now, no, there are no resources available for that. I think representation would be a very good one. So like if there were just people in organizations that looked like me or had knowledge about what people like me went through or go through on a day-to-day basis, I think that would be like the first step into like allowing people to understand what it's like to be Black in the workspace, or like what it's like to be a non-white person, yeah, per se. So I think that's the first step. And then having like events and things that promote networking and like cross thing between like all kinds of people would be great to enable like everybody feel comfortable. For the most part, ever since I moved here, if I'm in a space, I'm most likely going to be either the only Black person there or one of the only Black people there. At one of my jobs, I was the only Black person for about 2 years in the whole organization. So yeah, I was distinct. So whenever people talked and I was present, you could feel that this person was different from everybody else. Yes, they would pick and choose what they would say. They would try to water down what they were saying because they felt like maybe I couldn't understand based off of what I looked like. I think it impacted me positively because it made me realize that even though people will make it difficult or harder for me or for people like me to excel, our job is to make sure we show that we are still capable of doing what it is we need to do to grow in whatever careers we choose. So I think using that as fuel to propel ourselves into greater things is what I have used racism in the workplace to do. So I've always been someone who, like I said, didn't really have an attachment to racism or feel like racism affected me, because growing up, I grew up in a place where most people didn't even call themselves Black. We were just all the same kind of people. And then I moved here and then I was given the title or the label as Black. So I had to navigate being this person that now had a color to them. So because I had already lived half my life with a certain personality or a certain like identity, yes, I didn't really let being labeled affect me because I was already grounded in who I was before I got here. So yeah. It means going to 101 places with your resume and sometimes getting an email saying, oh, we decided to move on with somebody else, or moving on to having interviews and not hearing back, or moving on to different stages of interviews and sometimes getting a job offer but realizing that that job is not really what aligns with your values, so you might have to switch. So yeah. I think first of all they should try to get rid of the assumptions they have of people and just take people per individual. So even though you might have met someone that was Black before, or met someone that was Indian or brown before, or someone that was something else before, don't take that experience you've had with that person into your next experience with whoever else it might be. Just treat each experience uniquely, and I think that would help a lot. Don't go based off of names when you see resumes. It's a name, but it's also an identity, and it's also a person. So if you see a name, okay, that's the person's name. Go through the qualities that they have and see if it aligns with your company, and go from there, rather than looking at people's names and going based off of that. I think employers should be willing to allow people thrive, like just be willing to give people the opportunity to show what they can do in your organizations. And yeah. I think thriving would be just giving the freedom to explore, even though you might be an entry level employee, allowing you to tag along with someone in a much higher position to see, to shadow, to learn things, would be a way I think someone can thrive in like the organization, whatever that might be for them. I think be true to yourself, don't try to change, and always realize and know that how someone else treats you is not a reflection of who you are. It is just sometimes the way it is. Sometimes people just do things, and that's just what it is. It has nothing to do with you or your skills or how you look or your name. It's just unfortunately how the world is right now. I would say get as much certificates as you can, get as many skills as you can get. Always be willing to learn. Even if you go to school for something and there's an opportunity for something else, explore the idea, because you never know, you might fall in love with it. So don't see everything as one way or one way only. There are multiple ways to success, and I think if your aim is to be successful, you should explore different ideas.